All right, my friends, here it is, the most frustrating stage, full stop, in all of Watcher of Realms. Is this the hardest content in the game? Maybe. I don't really want to make a determination on that, but without a doubt, I promise you it's the most frustrating, and that is because of the incredible amount of RNG. The whole stage is very much dictated by you getting frozen, and that happens as a result of Winter's Bite. Everything else is just you receiving stacks of Winter's Bite. So what is that? It is a debuff that can be stacked upon you up to 3 times. The first time is a minus 25% slow, the second time is minus 50%, and the third time, instead of being a full minus 75% slow, they just fully freeze you instead. The worst part about this, well, there's a lot of bad parts about this. You can't heal, you can't attack, whatever. You're crowd controlled, you're frozen. However, you cannot block. So many runs do get destroyed by this because a tank is frozen at the wrong time by 3 stacks of Winter's Bite and the enemies waltz right into the portal. This is a stage I have beaten, and I did it without any ancient exclusive heroes and with only epic lords. It does take a ton. You can see that I did 3-star it. That all being said though, it took me forever. Part of the amount of time it took me, it was over 2 streams, probably like 6 or 7 hours total on this. Part of that time was figuring out the strategy, which I do now have, and I will share with you in this video, in this guide, in this walkthrough. However, a lot of that time is just hunting for the right RNG. There actually is no enemy in this fight that can freeze you, but there is the boss that can put Winter's Bite on you, and many enemies that have random RNG-based chances to also put Winter's Bite on you, so you can still get frozen all the time. It is infuriating. So you can see here the boss, he has a lot of ways to stack Winter's Bite on you. He's got this Doomfrost Bulwark. While in that, periodically he will do the Doomfrost Apocalypse, which he also enters into later on in the fight. When he does the Doomfrost Apocalypse, periodically he lands Winter's Bite on enemies. Simple as that. It is periodical, as you can see here in this. It's going to say for the period of Doomfrost Apocalypse, periodically inflicts it. They don't really tell us the periods, you just have to keep an eye on it. It is infuriating. Then he's got the Wintry Wasteland. This is an occasional AoE, but when he does it, it does inflict Winter's Bite on everybody. Icy Scourge is just AoE, and then Frozen Casket, so annoying, I'll show you in the battle. But you can see he's got a lot of ways to put it out. None of these dwarf guys can put out Winter's Bite, but all of these other assholes can. Honestly, this guy has a relatively high chance. They don't tell us the percentage, they just call it relatively high. This is the Cleric. Then you can see a lot of the other ones have a relatively low chance. They don't tell us what that is. It's just relatively low. You can see same thing over here. Does this guy have it as well? Yes, same thing over here. Does this guy have it as well? Yes, relatively low. So we have 4 relatively low units, and then we have a relatively high unit, and then we have this jerk of a boss. It is so much RNG as it stacks. Why am I telling you this up front? I am excited to bring you into battle and show you how I got this done with only epic lords and no ancient exclusive heroes. But I needed to preface this by explaining the RNG, because unless I get insanely lucky, I will have to do this over many runs. Full stop. That is how it is going to work. I'll probably splice some runs together, and I'm telling you that now because unless you get really lucky or you have crazy heroes, mainly Anora's good, but Ymeret and Dasami, they kind of make this easy mode. If you don't have that, you're going to be like me, struggling for a while, waiting to not get tortured by this RNG. I will tell you how to try to avoid the bad RNG, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to run it till you hit it right. So without further ado, let's enter this godforsaken stage. Will the next part of filming take me 20 minutes or 7 hours? Let's find out.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
All right, guys, let's head into battle. I'll tell you about my team very quickly. I'll show you all the gear at the end. Long story short, my gear is very good. I wouldn't say it's like super duper endgame, but a couple steps right before that. It is very good gear. Obviously, all my heroes are going to have maxed out artifacts. This is endgame content. This is very hard content, especially, again, if you don't have Ymeret, and especially Dasami. Dasami, and especially Dasami at A1, is the only reliable cleansing you are going to find. All the other cleansing in this game, besides some really random Eunomia, is based upon the ult that a hero has. We're talking Eluin, we're talking Nasandai, or you can use Midon. Because it's dependent on ult, because those heroes can randomly get frozen all the time, it is very inconsistent. So unless you have Dasami, you are going to have to suck it up like I'm about to suck it up. But this is the comp, right? We've got 2 cleansers in Eluin and Nasandai. We have some very nice single target DPS with my bonded Silas. We have 2 very nice AoE magic DPS units in Boreas and Comet. If you want to sub in for one of these guys, Anora is fantastic, Ymeret is fantastic. Obviously, I'm not using them because they're very rare. And then Nyx is very strong for this. Shout out to Prospector for turning me on to her. That being said, she requires awakenings and you definitely want her exclusive. Otherwise, you are going to struggle. These guys, you can see I have very high awakenings and it helps me. It is not needed though. As long as you have A1 Boreas and you have A0 Comet, that will be enough. Thankfully, it will be slightly easier for me because I do have A5 Boreas and A4 Comet. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I'm telling you, what matters is having the gear, having the heroes to begin with, and getting the right RNG. Next up, I'm bringing 3 tanks. You can see I've got Reeve, Brokir, and Constance. Brokir, because he's the tankiest I got. Reeve, because he's a nice option. He's got some self-healing on his ultimate, and he gives that aura of slow around him, plus a bunch of stuns when he's actively hitting. You don't need Reeve. Any tank would work. I just found he made it the easiest for my account. I also had a lot of success with Trusk. You could try him out. Crowdor would be very good, but for me, Reeve was the nicest because of those slows and stuns. Finally, I'm bringing Constance. You're going to see we make this kind of this weird triangle out of our tanks. Constance has inspiration. She is tanky. She has healing. That's why I'm bringing her. A normal tank would also work, but if you've got her, why not use her? You might need that extra healing. You might need the little bit of inspiration. I say little bit because she's only going to be able to place that inspiration on Boreas. And then let's head into battle. The last thing you need to know, we've got an Esotericist team. We've got a Piercer team, both with Epic Lords. Raiden is totally ungeared. I did put gear on Eliza in case the frozen casket goes wrong. I like to place Eliza. That will make sense once we enter the battle. So let's do it. Let's begin. I think it's very likely I will splice a couple runs together because I don't want to keep re-explaining things, but maybe we'll get lucky and I'll hit it on my first try. The battle always starts with this awful cinematic. Every single time, full stop. It is so annoying. First thing you're going to do is take Silas, place him here, pointed up. Remember, I'm bringing Eliza. Any Piercer Lord works. Obviously, if you have Legendary Lords, use them. I'm using Epic Lords because I do not have Legendary Lords, and this also makes the guide more accessible. But you can see that extends his range here on Silas. And then a very weird thing, you'll see our Silas is here, obviously, our Boreas will get placed here, so they both should only be able to hit this square, not this square, but there's something weird with the way the guys walk that you can always hit this square, which is really, really useful. You'll see that in action shortly. We wait for 16 costs. We're going to place Eluin pointed up. Eluin, you can see, is in Invigoration, so she places that as well on Silas, so they get the 10% post-deployment attack boost. Key thing, you can see these bonfires. Whenever he goes into his awful Apocalypse mode and he goes into Blizzard mode, he's going to blow those bonfires out. But while the bonfires are lit, you cannot get Winter's Bite put on you. So you want to be thoughtful about who you put next to the bonfires. I also want to take this opportunity to say, you'll see in this video, my graphic settings are on as low as possible. I think that is a huge tip. When he goes to Blizzard mode, he's like this sparkling white mess. When my graphics are all the way up, I can't see anything. So I turned them all the way down, and to me, it was a lot easier. To other ones, to other people, it might be, maybe it's your display, I don't know. It might be nice to have the graphics up a little bit. For me, turning them all the way down to low mode, smooth mode, was the best that I could do. It made it the easiest. Trust me, that's a tip, because when he goes Blizzard mode and you've got like full high HD graphics, it's a nightmare. As soon as Silas can, we're gonna start ulting. We wait. Great, and as soon as we have 19, we place Boreas pointed this way. You'll see Boreas is not in view of a bonfire, but he is in healing range of Eluin. And when we place Nasandai over here, he'll also be in range of Nasandai. So double healing, double cleansing. We're also going to place Constance here in between Boreas and Eluin. So because of that, he's going to get a third source of healing. That's really good. So you're going to want that. Now he's placed. We wait. As soon as we can actually already trigger with him. There's no reason not to trigger early. If you don't have him A5, I'm fortunate to have him A5. It can be nice to get him going a little later, but I do have 10 extra seconds on the ultimate because of the A5, so we might as well get him now. Let's place that Wood Elf. get a little healing out. Now pick it up. We generate 3 net costs there towards our deployments. Now we place Nasande pointing this way towards Boreas. He gets invigoration from her. That's quite nice. And now you can see he's in double healing range, will be triple once we place constants, and he's in double cleansing range. He's not in view of the bonfire or in adjacency to the bonfire, but Nasandai is. That is nice. So we wait. You'll see Boreas is going to start killing this. He gets some nice freezes. We can place Reeve here on top. Looking good so far. You can always click to see if there's Winter Bite. You'll see that a lot. Winter's Bite. You can also see the icon above their heads. When it gets a cluttered mess, I can't see the icons very well, so I'm always just clicking. You can see, right now it's really hard to see the icons. Sometimes I think it's a glitch. Sometimes maybe it's because my graphics are low, but it's saying he has 2 stacks, so he's 1 stack away. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Let's click again. Yeah, it's saying he's at 2 stacks. Maybe it will expire. It doesn't matter right now, though. We're in good shape. We wait. As soon as we have 18 costs, we got to trigger Silas here, and then as soon as we have 18 costs, we are going to trigger Constance. Silas, get that kill. He just got it. Oh my god. You can see it's already getting very hectic, getting very crazy. We got 2 more deploys. We'll wait a second here. So you can see Constance only has Boreas in her range in terms of DPS. She is going to buff Elwyn's healing. That's nice, right? She's an attack-based healer. Now what we're going to do, we're waiting until he's right below this bonfire. And now I'm going to place Eliza, who is invisible, pointed towards Silas. This is in case the Frozen Casket, which is about to come. I'll show you what Frozen Casket does. Sorry, guys. I know this is going to be a long guide, but it's a very confusing stage. Frozen Casket, he randomly selects 2 heroes, encases them. They're like in a casket of ice. While they're in that, they can't deal damage. They can't be healed. They can't be cleansed. They just slowly take damage and they wither away unless you break the casket. So you need a DPS. You can see Silas is covering Boreas, but no one's covering Silas. So we're going to place Eliza there. We can also quickly just place the healer there to be safe. Here comes the Frozen Casket. Let's see where it got placed. It got placed on Eliza and Nasandai. You can see Nasandai, if I ult with Boreas, will get covered there. We can pick up the Wood Elf. We can already take up Eliza. I don't care. She was only there to protect. The fact that she drew it to herself is also an added benefit. Boreas, when he does his boom, actually Reeve maybe will be able to hit it. No, not because it's not melee, but yeah, Boreas got it. When he does big AoE boom, he's got that crazy range. It's 3.5 tiles in all directions from his centered tile during his ultimate. That's very nice. We wait. Now we can do our final deployment here with Brokir. And this is basically the strat. I also put Comet down, you can see. That's so he can get all these mobs here. The reason we're doing this kind of, I guess it's not really a triangle, it's a diagonal of these tanks, is we don't want too many mobs swarming our main tanks at the same time. So here our main tank is Brokir. He's kind of protected here by Reeve, but Reeve's kind of blocking his own entryway. But definitely Constance is protecting Brokir from having too many mobs reach him, which means he'll take a little less Winter's Bite, and Winter's Bite is the bane of our existence. A frozen Brokir has been the end of many runs for me. As soon as it's just the boss in Silas range, we can ult with Silas. Might as well get a cleanse out here. We don't have to worry about cleansing when we do that with Elwyn, doing it with Nasandai, because as long as the bonfire's lit, Reeve and Nasandai are protected. Our only unprotected heroes are these 3, Brokir, Boreas, and Constance. So those are the ones we need to keep an eye on while the fires are lit, but you'll see when he goes apocalypse mode, he blows them out and it sucks. We wait now. Silas is taking a big chunk out of the shield. He has an enormous shield. It seems very daunting at first, but we're in no big rush. As long as we don't take forever to deal with it, it's not the end of the world. We can trigger with Comet now to start picking these guys off. My Comet is A4, which means he has A3, which is the extended range. So it's nice to trigger someone when they're in his ult range, or his normal attack range, I should say. You can't trigger his ult if someone's outside of his normal attack range, but in the ult range. To actually trigger the ult, they need to be in not the ult range, the normal attack range. Does that make sense? It's really annoying. So much of this is just annoying. I'm just annoyed constantly. But let's keep going. It's a nice, decent first run. Let's wait. We can get a cleanse going. You'll see not just Boreas, but also Brokir, even though they're out of the bonfire, they're in double cleanser range and triple healer range. So we can get a cleanse going with Nasandai there. Let's trigger with Constance and Boreas. So we'll get some really big AoE. You'll see Comet died. Sometimes he dies. It sucks. That does not mean the run's over, but it also is certainly not ideal at all. It's just all infuriating. Just take my word for it. It's just so annoying. You're going to have to run it and wait for perfect things. On my original clear, actually Nasandai died, and we were able to rally fast enough. Okay, there you can see the cinematic that is triggered always right when you break the shield. Kind of resets the battle. Any of the mobs and enemies that were out, they retreat, and now we begin basically phase 2. That shield seems daunting at first, but you're kind of fine. The key thing you're going to see is he's going to enter. Let me pull up the boss manual right now, the monster manual. You will see, oh my god, where is he? Cryolithos, however you say that. He's going to enter Doomfrost Apocalypse mode. It's whenever his HP drops to a certain threshold. That threshold is deductions of 25%. So when his health is at 75%, 50%, and 25%, that's when he goes into those modes. That's when he's going to become Blizzard mode, and it's really hard to see. And you'll see here, even with the low graphics on smooth mode, it's going to be hard to see. But you really need to pay attention. I like to save as many ults as I can for when the mobs come when he's in that frozen Blizzard mode, because you're already taking a ton of Winter's Bite from him, because you can see periodically he's inflicting it on everybody. So it's kind of key that you can kill all the other mobs as fast as possible, so there's less of them that can inflict more Winter's Bite on you. That's the best tip I can give. Silas was already ulting from before. Unfortunately, your ults and everything don't reset after that cinematic when everything else resets. So we're going to wait, but you're going to see we're about to have it happen here at 75%. 75.7 it triggered now. Now he's in wintry mode. He's in apocalypse mode. So let's take a peek on where we are. We've got one stack. Oh, he's actually fully frozen here, but that's okay because it's about to expire. So we'll keep an eye there. You can see all the mobs coming, so let's trigger Boreas and Comet. Let's get them out of our way. We don't want to just willy-nilly like cleanse every time right away, because better to cleanse when you have like 2 stacks than 1 stack. That being said, sometimes randomly 2 stacks just get added all at once. I don't know how that's possible. No one except for I think maybe the cleric can place 2 stacks at once, or at least that's what they tell us. So it's supremely confusing. You can see here, no, he just has a relatively high chance to do it once. Maybe you're getting hit twice. Maybe the stage is bugged. I don't know. Regardless, I get very angry. Let's trigger all these. A lot of people are getting frozen already. You can see nearly frozen on Broke here. Elowen's good. We need her coming up, but she has 2 stacks and she's not ready to ult. Constance just unfroze, and now Elowen's frozen. We can oh, and Nasandai's frozen too. So you can see they kind of all the time are jumping from you think you're good at 2 and then immediately you get another, or you think you're good with none and you're back at 2. You think you're good with 1 and you get 2 at once. There's a lot of RNG in it, and you just have to suck it up, and it really sucks. Down goes Constance. We should be theoretically okay as long as she can come back fairly quick. Eliza died immediately, but that does not matter. I just placed her because why not? Let's trigger Elowen there, and you can see now his health goes back down. He is invulnerable when he's Blizzard mode. Unfortunately, I triggered with Silas. That doesn't matter too much. It's mostly the AoE heroes you want to save for those in-betweens when he's locked out in his Blizzard mode. Let's keep an eye. How are we doing? We got 2 stacks on Broke here. What a nightmare. Where did those come from? Let's see. Nasandai is good, though, because the fire's still on, so we can be good. Is he fully frozen? No, not yet. We're in the next mode. He's down to 50.8%. So you can see he's going to enter his Blizzard status yet again. Let's see. How are we looking? None on Nasandai. Let's check Broke here. He's fully frozen, but we're about to kill those mobs, so we're okay. I'm keeping an eye as well on Constance. You might be wondering why I kept going even though Constance died. It can time out well that you can suffer losses, right? Let me pause this for 1 second. Down goes Nasandai. I was about to heal with her. That I probably can. My original clear, I did finish with Nasandai having died once, but it's really tricky. It really is. We'll see, though. We'll still give it a go. As Brokier went to ult, he was frozen. Can Silas pick it up? Is Brokier unfrozen? At least Brokier's unfrozen, but we need a cleanse from Elowen yesterday. Come on, Elowen. Let's cleanse. Might as well get Eliza down. Let's get Brokier going. Boreas, excuse me. There's no timer on this, so we don't know when the mode's going to end, but we're in pretty good shape as long as Brokier doesn't freeze. No stacks right now. All right, you can see the bonfires came back up. Let's ult with, we got to ult with Silas, and we ulted with Reeve to buy us some time with the stuns. Constance is almost back, but we still need 25 seconds on Nasandai, so it's going to get tough for Reeve over there. Let's get Constance placed. We can use the Wood Elf here to help keep Reeve alive. We got 2 stacks on Brokier. Good time to get his ult up. Let's see, some big AoEs. You're just going to have to suffer through this RNG until it lines up. But you can see we're 12 seconds away from getting the Nasandai back. Maybe it will be all right. Here's 25%, our last threshold. If we can make it through this, we've got a shot, but it's going to be really hard when these bonfires blow out and we don't have Nasandai. We've got 8 seconds here. Let's really focus up. Down goes Eliza, but who cares? This is really rough, though, with Elowen. Constance dies. We need to ult with Elowen right now. We got it. It's going to be really hard without Constance and without Nasandai. Nasandai's back. They're going to try to snipe her here. We could use a Wood Elf. We've got the ults going with Comet, at least. Bryce is getting hit really, really hard. We need an ult with Nasandai. This is going to come down to RNG, right? It always does. Is she going to get frozen or not? Let's go with Nasandai. That gives a cleanse. So Brokier should be cleansed. Hopefully it's just a lag on the animation. He's not cleansed. So this is like a weird thing that happens all the time. Nasandai, Brokier's very much in her range, but he didn't cleanse. Why would that be? You know, and now he's fully frozen. This is the stuff you really have to just suffer with, sincerely. There's not much more to it. And now we're completely frozen out. You'll see, unless Brokier comes through, which he won't. Reeve won't for stuns. This is all going to fall apart because they can walk through since he's frozen. Let's get that going. Let's get all the ults on at least. Can we do it? Oh, actually, we held on. We just made it. Here comes a frozen casket. This could be the end of us if it lands on the wrong people. Some more RNG. Who's it going to land on? It landed on Reeve. And did it land on over here on Brokier? Then we're fine because Boreas will save the day. Come on now. We might make it, guys. You can really see. You're just going to have to play with it till you get the RNG that's actually going to help you. There we go. We're under 25%, so he can't do any more Blizzard modes. Let's get a cleanse here out of Elowen. Let's just try to get this done as fast as possible. This very well might be the run. This is why you want to bring the big single target. Silas is bringing us home. Come on, Silas. There's the clear. So you can see we weathered 2 big losses, right? We lost Nasandai and we lost actually Constance twice, but it did get it done for us. I actually just beat this on my 3rd try. I only had to splice 2 runs together at that cinematic, if you were wondering. But that is the success. That is how I did it with Epic Lords. Basically, you need the Epic Lords to make your normal heroes strong enough if you don't have those crazy Lords or the crazy Ancient exclusives. Like I said, Ymeric cannot be frozen, and his DPS is crazy. He does dual DPS as well, physical and magic. He is very good for this. And then, of course, Anora cannot be frozen. She has really nice bursty AoE magic damage. But by far, you saw how often we were getting random Winter's Bites, how often it was inconsistent. By far, the best hero in the game for this is Dasami. Dasami he's the only hero aside from random stuff with Eunomia, but Dasami is the only real cleanser hero who can consistently and constantly cleanse that is not tied to his ultimate. And that is huge. So if you have Dasami, even A0, he's phenomenal. Just build him fast, get him going, get his heals solid, but really build him quick. If he's A1, you really will do great at this. So that is my huge suggestion. Otherwise, it's going to be like this. You're playing the RNG game. You're bringing good DPS, good heroes. I like the triple tank strategy. You definitely need double cleanser. And then, of course, you got to pray. As simple as that. There you go, guys. These are the stats. Tons of single target out of Silas. Boreas is our big AoE boy. Comet off to the side, just doing the best he can. And that's basically it. That is what we did. I'm glad in the end, the whole filming so far has only taken me 35 minutes. So it's not even going to be that brutal to edit. I really hope this helps you guys. I'm sorry it was not the most perfect run, clean guide, but also I'm not, because that is how the experience will be for the vast majority of players. Certainly if you don't have Dasami or some crazy Anora Ymeric thing that you're going to do. That's going to be it. I told you at the end I would show you the gear very quickly. Like I said, take my word, it's really good, but let me show you now. We've got Elowen, she's an Invig and Immortal Warrior. No Ancients, but it's all solid gear. Nothing too crazy. I'm hunting for good healing, good attack, tons of attack speed, and good HP. That's why we did Immortal Warrior. If Elowen had died, as she actually did in my first run, that I had to splice the 2 runs together, the whole run's lost. It really is. You can't keep it going, because once those bonfires go out, you are screwed. Lots of HP, good amount of attack, pretty darn fast at 471. A little bit of rage regen's really nice too. If you're using the burst cleansers, who again are all the cleansers besides Dasami, it's nice to have some rage regen on them because you have the cleanses tied to the ult, so you want to ult a lot. You can see obviously she's fully skilled up. This was the gear for her artifact. This is the best artifact because you need the rage regen. She's at a golden scarab maxed out, 5% attack, 50% rage regen. Let's keep going down the line. We've got Comet over here. He's in some nice Ageless Wrath. Soulbound Arcana would be better, but this was still pretty effective because I had very nice stats. I wanted some nice tankiness. You know, he's not that tanky, but with my Soulbound Arcana, he was quite brittle, so 26.5 is good. You can see looking for a lot of attack, a lot of crit damage, and some speed. Attack is at 18.8. This is some of my best gear. The attack interval is a little high at 1.6 with only 325 attack speed. Crit capped with over 370% crit damage. Unfortunately, no rage regen percentage. For the artifact, he's in a maxed out tier of Twilight. If we go to Besos, he is also in a maxed out tier of Twilight. Here is Soulbound Arcana. You will see this is like my best Soulbound Arcana I had to put on him. I did have to make a concession on the left. We'll go over it in a second. I love this piece though. No attack speed, but a big HP bonus roll, which is important. If he dies, the run's gonna fall apart. Some crit damage. Again, unfortunately, no HP here. And then we've got attack bonus, no HP, but we did get defense bonus, which is pretty solid. But because I couldn't get that much HP, I actually ran him in very heavy DPS, but Immortal Warrior gear. So given some more HP, given some more defense, you can see attack speed, attack bonus, HP bonus, crit rate, pretty good stuff. And then here we got the big stats. So no HP bonus, but we're getting it from the set. All in all, it's a good build, coming in at 17.2. We got 1.6 second attack interval. Again, I wish it was faster, but I will say with Besos, the big massive damage, frozen purification bursts are not tied to his attack speed, so it's not the end of the world. A decent amount of crit damage, but not crazy. This build isn't so perfect, but I had to make concessions to get the HP I needed because my original attempts, he was dying and it wasn't good. Again, we've got the tier of Twilight. Let's go to Silas now. He is in a maxed out Spirit Siphon and then some of my best Infernal Roar gear. It's not crazy. I took this piece for the flat HP. Then you can see this is a very nice piece. I wish it was flat HP or HP bonus instead of defense. And then here we have some flat HP. Here I'm hunting for defense bonus and then the normal DPS stats. Over here, we've got the 4 main stats we want, but not crazy rolls, right? My gear is, like I said, it's good. It's not insane. 14.4 on the attack. He's quite fast at 408, which is good. Just over 350% crit damage, and then no rage regen, unfortunately. But it is okay. Who else do we have to go through? Constance is in my Guild Boss 2 gear for her, a Glacier set with a lot of HP, and then whatever attack I can get on her. We're looking for HP bonus main with attack in the subs. Same thing on the left. We want HP bonus with attack bonus. Pretty simple. When you can pick up the defense, you want to do it because you don't want her to die, even though she did die twice for me. That was just bad luck with the freezes. You're going to have to deal with it. A lot of HP, some attack, but remember from the Glacier set, 6% of this will translate into bonus attack. Attack interval's pretty not good. No heal effects, so her healing wasn't that good, but at least we got a little rage. For the artifact, definitely you want Astral Obelisk, get that extra rage regeneration and the boosted attack. If we keep going down the line, we've gotten a Sondai. With her, I just need tankiness, I need speed, I need attack and healing, and that is what we got. Again, she's an Invigoration. She was the one buffing Besos. Those are the pieces. If we go over here, you'll see 15.5 attack, just over 30k HP. I was shooting for at least 30k HP on my healers. If we look here, very, very fast, 6'10", 1.4 second interval. She's got a little bit of rage regen, which is nice because she's going so fast, and then a nice chunk of heal effect at 111. Her heals are actually very good. Unfortunately, she's just a little brittle, so I had to really invest in the HP on this build. Then we've got a Golden Scarab. Obviously, I want that rage regen boost. Who else do we have left? Are we almost done? We've got Reeve and Broke here, and we are out of here. I'll show you quickly now. For Reeve, we have got just a Guardian set looking for high HP and high defense. I like to run 1 defense bonus main, 2 HP bonus mains. Immortal Warrior on the left, you'll see just under 100,000 HP and just over 11,000 defense. This is quite a good build. If you can get him faster than this, it is nice because he's going to get more ults, which means more stuns. My Reeve is at A1, which is even more stuns, so it's helpful, but it is not needed. Artifact, you want a Bastion Ring, 100%. All of these guys need the extra block. I will say, actually, I'm realizing now there was a mistake on Constance because I had run my Guild Boss 2. Much better than Astral Obelisk. Run her in a Bastion Ring, give her the extra block, and give her the extra tankiness. If you got a max level 1, use it. Otherwise, use a base copy. That would actually be better because you don't really need the attack. So that was an oversight on my part. Maybe that's why she died twice in the run. And then finally we got Broke here. Same exact story as Reeve. HP bonus, 2 of them. Defense bonus, 1 of them. Unfortunately, no Immortal Warrior, but very nice stats here on the left-hand side. And then you'll see he's got nice base stats. Just over 100,000 hit points, just under 10,000 defense. And he also is named maxed out Bastion Ring. Raiden was unused, ungeared. For Eliza, I just went for a decent Infernal Roar DPS build. We saw in the end she did almost nothing for us. It was like 300,000 damage. But if you're going to bring them and people are going to die, which for me, all my successful runs, at least one unit has died, might as well have someone else to cycle in. Raiden also could have been helpful. He probably would have even been better, but I went for Eliza because she's invisible. It gave me some peace of mind. Guys, that is the guide. I'm so happy to put this behind me. You can let me know if you have specific questions, but quite frankly, this is endgame content. You need good heroes, good builds. I showed you how to do it with only epic lords and no ancient exclusive heroes, but it still requires a lot. And the biggest thing this stage requires is a shit ton, a metric ton, a blue whale sized ton, I guess that'd be many tons, of patience, because you will have to grind it and grind it and grind it, hunting for that right RNG. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments if this helped you. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your mother. I've been Fastidious. I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.